Hello darlings, and it's cold and damp Tuesday night, and you join me back in dear old, utterly dependable, he said, touching wood, touch wood, Janet Jackson. So, and yeah, after a wonderful relaxing night away, which was very comfortable, the hotel felt weirdly enough just like home. Go on, come on, that's it. I am off back to work again. So the live stream tickle came early today, so yeah, that's it now. That is it. We hunkering down for Christmas, New Year. Well, before that we've got the winter solstice, and I will celebrate that. But oh, my wipers are oh, they're just being a bit lazy. Let's get that onto the screen. Yeah, that's it. No more jollies now. Well, certainly no more overnight jollies, and until my birthday night. So that means, and I have counted this because I am a big child, 26 more sleeps. 26 more sleeps. Okay, some thoughts on yesterday. I was, apart from the problems, I was enjoying Yvette very much indeed. I got some lovely compliments about her in the motorway services car park, and I was enjoying her. She drives well. I like the interior. I know I obsess over it, but the gramophone is like the icing on the cake. I was having a ball with that. So yeah, it's a shame it's not a serious issue. Looking back, I don't think the AA guy did me any favours, because all he did was free off the caliper, and it looked dry and crusty. So it was kind of obvious that once it got hot again, having done it once, the problem was going to reoccur. I've just swapped the cars over now to get into JJ. I've moved Yvette Carte Blanche down the road so that JJ can go straight back in pole position when I get home, and the brakes were completely free. So I think if he'd just greased them up a bit, bang some copper grease on, rather than just freeing them off, that could have been a successful trip. So the caliper might not be completely goosed. After all, it might just need, stripping down and grease it up might do the trick. You never know. So yeah, I'm not sure that he really did me any favours there, but maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. That's also quite possible. The other little issue, the not starting after I put the petrol in, I think that was just an immobiliser glitch, because the way I got it started, I didn't put it in the film, but the way I got it started was obviously you've got the separate little plug-in immobiliser, but there is, and unless you do the plug-in immobiliser, then the engine won't even crank. There's just nothing at all. But there is another immobiliser, I think, in the BCU kind of thing that works with the locking. So what I did is I just locked the car, left it 5 seconds, unlocked it, and then she started. So I think that was just a glitch, and it hadn't happened before, and it didn't happen again afterwards. So yeah, she's not too bad. Just need to sort that caliper out, and I think we've got a nice car there. I liked everything else. The seats are fantastic. I like the interior. It's got a working clack, which is always nice. Gramophone is amazing, and she drives well. You need to get used to the driving characteristics. It's the Honda D16 engine in that one, and it's a rever. It's an engine that you need to rev. There's not much in the way of torque, and what power there is towards the top of the rev range, very much like a K series really, but you know, they're a cracking engine. They're generally deemed to be the best that Honda made. The only thing I would say is that for motorway use, she's a bit low geared. You're doing, you've kind of got sprint gearing in there, so if you're doing an indicated 70, then you're at about 3,600 revs, which, you know, makes it sound a bit busy. Just realised I've got absolutely no diesel. Poor old JJ is going to have to try and get there on fumes. I must have been all excited on Sunday night and didn't get any. Whoops. No, just thinking about road trips, etc., and trying not to think about my fuel gauge, which is somewhat concerning. I am absolute. God knows how this car is still going on, totally empty. Yeah, regarding road trips, if the Snowdonia trips are going to be a regular thing, and believe me, it is very much the intention that they will be a regular thing, then it makes sense to just always do them in Officer Crabtree. That should be his role on the fleet. It's silly to put miles on kind of more classic cars. I mean, Yvette is 30 years old, bless her. So it's silly piling up needless miles on them. You know, they should be really high days and holiday cars, really. Officer Crabtree is modern, it's a workhorse. Oh, and the other thing is, the three other cars, Mingebag, Yvette and Dickadumdum, they're on a 3,000 mile classic fleet policy with Footman James. So, and that's 3,000 miles between them, not each. So, yeah, whereas Officer Crabtree is on a normal policy, so, you know, normal mileage, as is JJ. So, obviously, JJ is the daily workhorse. So it just makes sense to use Officer Crabtree, and he's the perfect road trip car for all the reasons that I gave a couple of weeks ago when he got us there in safety and comfort. You've got everything. You've got the loads of space, really relaxed driving position, perfect for long journeys, the panoramic roof, all the power that you need, 6-speed gearbox for economical motorway cruising. He's got a pretty amazing gramophone as well. So, yeah, I wasn't expecting any problems with Yvette. I'd driven her back from Leeds. I'd used her for work, but in hindsight, maybe it was a bit of a pointless risk. Maybe I should have just taken Officer Crabtree. So in the future, when it's like just bread and butter trips, what will become hopefully the regular slog to Snowdonia, we'll just do it in Officer. We'll do it in Crabbers. Yeah, be silly not to. That will be his purpose. He's the car best suited to it, and yes. I was just thinking of something else to say, because the Honourable Bridge is coming up, and I thought, well, I don't want to stop filming and then have to start again. I'll just keep rattling until it's time to give the traditional greeting. And by telling you all of that, I have achieved my purpose. Don't look at the fuel gauge. Oh God, I'm so empty. Greetings, Honourable Bridge. Right, I suppose we're going to be faced with the usual Tuesday question, aren't we? Are the Orally men going to be in residence at the Sherpa's Lodge? Will they have returned to press on and just get this job done? Or have they failed to come back at all? I think that they come from somewhere near the landlord, which is down by the south coast. So I suppose I could understand if they were going home, and I think they left on Saturday, then they might want to stay there for more than just the one day. So don't be surprised if there's no sign of life. Let's have a look. I'm looking at the windows. Looks pretty dead to me. Oh no, oh gosh. Oh, lights are plenty. Blimey. The Orally men are in residence. Work is continuing. I think the skip is still empty, but it won't be for long, so I'm going to bring some of my crap from home and ram that into the skip. Might as well get some use out of the bloody thing blocking up the yard. Right, well, we got here. Well done, JJ, on your wonderful frugality. And I'll see you guys in a little while. Oh, yes. Hello again, my lovelies. That was not a bad night. Oh, let's turn you off. Not a bad night. Busier than usual for a Tuesday, but, you know, it's December, isn't it? So you expect that. But, yeah. And what is very pleasing is that had a peek through the window, and I can see that the Orally men, or at least one Orally man, doing a bit of painting of a ceiling. So I'm taking that as a jolly good sign. Well, it's a really good sign that they're back, obviously, because not a lot gets done when they're not there. I mean, I'm not sure how much gets done when they are there, but it's more than when they're not there. I'm pretty confident I can say that. But I think it's a good sign that they're painting, because that's like the last thing, isn't it? So I don't know what the whole place is like, but they're painting bits of it, so bits of it are presumably done, or about to be done. So who knows? Maybe the finish line is in sight. In other news, I've been to Sainsbury's. I put some fuel in. Poor old JJ. Oh, and I know it's really bad to let the fuel level get low on old cars. I know that the fuel tanks get crap in them, and if you let the fuel run low, then it can get sucked into the fuel filter and all of that. I know. I'm an idiot. But I also, well, no, I haven't talked about this in a video. I talked about it in last night's live, but haven't talked about it on a video. I've suddenly come to realise that maybe because of the time of year, maybe because of age, maybe because of God knows what, my autoimmune system is a bit out of whack. And the signs for this is that I've had a bit of a psoriasis flare, And the engine room department has not been as clockwork-like and effective as normal. So they're both signs. So given that, well, as I understand it, and I did check to see things haven't changed since I learned these things when I was, working in the field. Biggest thing for psoriasis is vitamin D. And so, it figures that vitamin D levels are going to be low at this time of the year because there's no sun around. And a lot of reports and whatnot suggested that vitamin D was the biggest single help to reducing psoriasis symptoms. So I bought a load. I bought 2 buckets. Well, there were 3 for 2. So I bought a shed load of vitamin D tablets, which I'll take, and hopefully that will help. And I also bought some cod liver oil because I don't eat fish, so I'm not getting any of that healthy, oily shit that's supposed to work wonders with this, that and the other. So there's a load of diet stuff I was banging on about last night, but it's diet massively affects these things, and you're supposed to stay clear of gluten, processed foods, blah blah. Sugar's a big no-no. I can't be arsed with that. My diet's not that bad. It's not that bad, so I'll just be a little bit careful with the old gluten stuff. I mean, it would mean I can't eat noodles, for God's sake. And what did Ram make for tonight as a treat? Nepali noodles. I'm not turning my back on them. And my psoriasis is barely categorized as mild. It only just makes it onto the mild thing. So it's not a massive. So I'm hoping that upping my vitamin D levels and banging a bit of cod liver oil down will be enough on its own to sort it out without having to get involved in dietary changes and all of that malarkey. So fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. Oh, come on, we can do him. We can do him on the island. There we are, a bit of undertaking. Racing line through the island. Kiss the apex. And get stuck behind a focus. So, yeah, not a bad night at all. Not a bad night at all. God, I can't remember anything that I spoke. Right, I'm going to bugger off and catch up with the world tonight on Radio 4, and I'll come back and say good night to you at the appropriate juncture. Oh yes. Hello. What's going on here? Interesting. My lovelies, almost home. Thank you for your company this evening, as always. Wouldn't be the same without you, All the motorhomes have gone from that lay-by the way. Now, what have we got planned for tomorrow? I need to go to the post office. I've got some gloves to send to Chile, of all places, Santiago. And I think we'd better take Dicker Dum Dum. Obviously, I swapped his battery and need to make sure that that's not going to get drained again, so we need to keep his wheel, well, we need to keep all of the wheels turning over, don't we? So I think it's Dicker Dum Dum's turn to go out for a jolly tomorrow, so we'll do that. I think I'll need to appease the vengeful gods of the overdraft with any bits of cash I've got knocking about. Oh, and we'll have noodles for lunch. It won't be the worst day, will it? Right, darlings, let me wish you all a safe and peaceful night and a good day ahead. I hope you find some joy to take somehow, somewhere. And of course, above all, take good care of yourselves and take care of those that you love and who love you as well. It's only fair, isn't it? And no doubt I'll be like a new man tomorrow, full of vitamin D and cod liver oil. Right, much love from me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.